What was the last White House Correspondents' dinner you went to?
Oh, probably the last one I went to was the dinner where Stephen Colbert lectured Bush.
So 2006.
Is that when that was?
Yeah, so that's 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Where have you been for the past 8 dinners?
I have gone hunting or fishing, on a hunting or fishing trip every single year. To Texas, Louisiana, West Virginia, Florida.
So the obvious question is why? Why do you skip out on the dinner?
Because I realized that the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I mean, I went every year from when I was in my early 20s, you know, in the early 90s, all the way through. And I just realized that it was depressing. There was something depressing about it, and it's springtime, and I should be celebrating by catching fish or shooting birds. And I've just been in a better mood ever since I made that choice. I love Washington. I live in the district. I would never move. I think it's a great city. I love the filthiness of it. I love everything about it. I just don't want to go to dinner with it.
Do you come back and catch up on the dinner on C-SPAN?
No, because I'm not a loser. I'm not, you know, watching it on C-SPAN. What, watching my colleagues get drunk?
Right.
I've spent 25 years doing that. So, no, I don't watch it on C-SPAN.
So now that you don't go, have you, and your ears have probably been attuned to other people who don't go, have you just sort of run into more and more people who skip town for this weekend?
Yeah, I know a ton. But I never mention it in public. Because the only thing worse than going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner is not going on principle and then making some sort of showy demonstration about it. I'm not going because it violates the tenets of journalism. Oh, shut up. There are no tenets of journalism left. Everybody's in the bag for somebody. Everyone's filthy and compromised in some way. Really, the only shred of dignity you can maintain is not to become a pompous, self-righteous tool.
So for you, do you not go primarily because, well, let me ask the question again. So 2006, if I remember correctly, there were, I'm sure, half of the parties that there are now. I mean, it's part of your decision that just the dinner's turned into a day, which has turned into a weekend, which has turned into a week. In other words, the events have just gotten out of control.
I love parties, and I love bacchanalia. I like drunk people, What I don't like is the rope line culture, the kind of, let's pretend Washington is West LA kind of thing. You know what I mean? Or, hey, we're New York for a night. It's Washington. It's low-rise buildings. It's everyone knows everyone else. To have a rope line, even if, I get in. I mean, I had a ticket, but I hate the idea of some steroid head standing at the door, like determining who gets, I'm not going to participate in that. It's phony. It's false. I mean, it's designed to create this illusion of exclusivity that isn't real, and just the phoniness of it made me nauseous, so no way.
Why do you think the celebrities come? Why are they interested?
Well, because they're, because it's weird and it's something new, but also there is a kind of patina of seriousness, like, ooh, I'm going with a news organization. And there are some I mean, I know a lot of actors, and some of them are smart. Some of them are pretty smart, actually, but some of them aren't. And so to go is another way to suggest, that really you're an actor, but you're also kind of a serious person. And then of course, from our perspective, from the perspective of working journalists, having some hot actress at your table means, you look like a baseball card collecting tool, but really, there's a wild side to you. You got some chick to say, it's people are fulfilling one another's needs. It's, the blind person meets the deaf person and they get together for the night kind of thing.
One last thing, and you sort of alluded to this earlier, there are people for whom this dinner sort of represents like everything that's wrong with DC and the coziness between journalists and sources. What's your take on that? Well,
I just like it because, I love the coziness of Washington. I like the fact that you can live in the same neighborhood, the same block as people you cover. I love the fact that you can get real information from people here, and you see people every day at lunch. I love that about DC. I would never apologize for that. It's the best thing about Washington. I don't like the dinner because it destroys all that. All of a sudden, it's people you know really well putting on airs and pretending to be something they're not and making a fool of themselves, and it's embarrassing. But again, just to be totally clear, I don't go to the dinner, but I despise other people who don't go to the dinner.